this looks like a good seat. Oh, man. I'm not gonna lie, I've been keeping something from you guys for a while now. And that's kind of because it wasn't really a sure thing until all of the sudden it was. I'm really, really excited about it. And to cut straight to the chase, I'm in it right now. I'm talking about this shop that I'm in. This was certainly a dream come true for me. See, back when I started this YouTube channel, I had no idea that I would keep going with it for this long. I had no idea just how fun it would be, how rewarding it would be to create little pieces of art, upload them to YouTube, and have people actually enjoy watching those videos. Let alone having a channel called One Road that has almost 200,000 subscribers at this point. It's honestly mind-blowing. It truly is. My garage situation has certainly evolved over the course of this channel's life. I started with a pretty normal to small-sized 2-car garage, which was fine. It was enough at the time, starting the channel, just doing random things. Then I moved to a very deep 2-car garage, so a very large 2-car garage, which I really enjoyed. But after that, I moved to a single-car garage, and it was a little large for a single-car garage, but certainly no 2-car garage. And surprisingly, that's where the majority of this channel was filmed. That's when I really started picking up the pace and getting into a groove. I put an entire lift kit on this 1995 GMC Suburban you see behind me in that 1-car garage. So I'm no stranger to small spaces. But of course, having a YouTube channel revolving around working on and modifying vehicles, I felt like I needed a larger space. One that at least had a driveway, and if I could get it, something that was larger than a simple 2-car garage. So after that 1-car garage, some of you guys who do follow the channel closely, you'll know that I did move to another state, which is now Tennessee. I was renting this house and it did have a pretty normally sized 2-car garage, which I was pretty happy with. I got some work done in there, but this whole time I've been out here, I've been searching for a new place to live, and preferably a place that had a shop. Not just a garage, but a shop. A place where I can do a multitude of things, like, for example, work on my tractor. Yes, my tractor. And aside from that tractor over there, this shop has all kinds of room. Here I have this custom built workbench. This was here when I bought it, but whoever built this did a great job. Not only does it look like new, there is a plethora of drawers, and there are outlets like every 3-4 feet. It is crazy. Unfortunately, right now, this shop is a disaster. I'm still in the process of moving in and really trying to figure out exactly what I want the layout of this shop to be. You can see there's bins behind me, and stuff like that is not gonna be there in my normal day-to-day operation. So I certainly have a lot of cleanup and figuring to do with this shop. Another great example of that is this ceiling. You can see there's tons of exposed insulation, and I really need to figure out a cost-effective and easy way to cover all of that up. I've got the 95 Suburban in here, and you can see how much room I have to work on this thing. I'm very excited to finally be able to do bigger projects on this truck. I have the 03 halfway pulled in, and you can see just how much more room there is back there. The previous owner did leave a few things, like this Delta Model 10 Deluxe radial arm saw with automatic brake, 2 completely dead batteries. I already tested them, and I'll have to recycle those, as well as this drill press. And under these stairs here, there's 2 gigantic bottles of propane that I'm pretty sure are completely full. And I know you guys have noticed this stairway that leads all the way up to a very awesome bonus space, but we will save that for next time. All right, well, this probably isn't going to be the final resting place for this sign, but for now, this is good enough. What do you think? So what do you think about the placement? I'm always trying to think about, you know, when I'm holding the camera and talking, what's behind me? What's going to be on the wall? Now, like I said, I don't know if that's going to stay there, but I wanted to put it up and it just seemed like an okay spot. I don't know though, maybe it should have gone over here somewhere. Well, I moved it. What do you think? I moved it. I just felt like that other spot was just a little too high and just out in the middle of nowhere. This kind of makes more sense. It's in between the window and the door. It's just above the switches and everything right there. Now, doesn't that make a little more sense? I feel like it does. As for upcoming projects, the 95 is still in need of repair. I still haven't completed the fix for the water leak that's somehow getting in. It might be as simple as just this outside seal right here. There is a bit of a crack right here. I think I caused that though when I was taking this thing off. But I am really curious if these WeatherTech rain guards are part of the problem or causing the problem. It seems to me the water is getting down here somehow, and the only thing that's changed with my truck are these rain guards. And so while they may guard the rain from getting in the windshield here, I'm curious if it's causing another problem down here. I still do have the door completely taken apart, so I'm gonna have to order some new parts from LMC Truck, like this outer window seal. The interior is also completely taken apart still. I didn't want to put it back together without making sure that the problem was completely fixed. I got that front passenger seat just chilling out right here. And there are a few things that I want to take care of on this 03 Suburban. Number one, and the most annoying thing to me, is this driver information center, and mine is acting completely crazy. This thing seems to have a mind of its own, changing the settings completely at random. It'll change the language on its own. It'll scroll through all the different options, just completely at random when I'm driving. I've done a video on fixing a GM gauge cluster in the past. That was for the gauge cluster out of my wife's 2005 GMC Envoy, and I'm gonna repeat that process, rip this one out, and send it to the same guy. Another thing I'm thinking about doing to the 03 is swapping in some electric fans. I know some of these models came with factory dual electric fans, and it's a pretty easy swap, and they're fairly cheap from a junkyard. I've watched a few videos on YouTube about it, and I think I can pretty much do the same thing, so that may be coming in the very near future also. As for the tractor, I also need to do a full service on this thing. I've got some Shell Rotella T5. I've got my replacement air filter by Wix, and I also have my replacement oil filter by Wix. I'm also gonna slam a can of Seafoam down the fuel tank, because this baby is a diesel. It's a 3-cylinder diesel, and quite frankly, I have no idea how old that diesel fuel is, but I did get this thing up and running fairly easily, so it can't be that old. But I figured, why not put a can of Seafoam down there, just to help clean things up a bit. I'm kind of falling in love with this thing, guys. It reminds me so much of Wall-E. Another really weird thing, some of you may have noticed, these front tires are actually on the wrong side. These treads should be facing forward, but they're actually facing to the rear. There's even a little arrow on here to tell you which direction the travel should be for traction, and yeah, it's the wrong way. So I think all I have to do is simply swap those two tires and I should be good to go. And for those of you who watched the episode on installing and testing out these reverse lights, they are still there looking pretty. And I know a lot of you wanted to see what these flood lenses look like in there. So we're gonna pop these in at some point and test the difference. Well, gosh, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. And also, if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. I really hope I did a good enough job showing this shop to you. So thank you guys for following along. I hope this makes you as excited or somewhat as excited as I am. I literally can't wait to see what's coming. And for One Road, I'm Jimmy, and I will see you in the next one.